In the words of the late great Robin Williams, I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make people happy because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless, and they don't want anyone else to feel like that. Life, as we know, is a complex tapestry of emotions, experiences, and encounters, woven together with threads of joy, sorrow, triumph, and defeat. And sometimes amidst this intricate fabric of existence, we stumble upon patches of darkness, periods where happiness seems elusive, where the world appears a little bleaker, where the heaviness in our hearts feels a tad too burdensome. This is the reality of depression, a battle waged daily in the minds of millions. You see, depression isn't merely a fleeting state of sadness. It's a persistent, all-consuming darkness that often feels inescapable. It's a tumultuous sea of despair that threatens to drown even the most resilient swimmers. It's an isolating blizzard that obscures the path to joy and contentment. But the truth is, you are not alone in this struggle. We all have our own storms to weather, our own battles to fight. Some days are harder than others, and that's okay. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, to feel lost, to feel like you're not okay. And yes, it's also okay to admit it. You're not weak for feeling this way, you're human. Depression, much like any other illness, is not a character flaw. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you've been strong for far too long. It's a sign that you're carrying a heavy burden, one that you don't have to bear alone. You see, we all stumble, we all fall, but we don't have to stay down. We can rise, dust ourselves off, and continue our journey. This journey isn't easy. It's filled with challenges and obstacles, but it's also filled with opportunities for growth, for self-discovery, for compassion. Remember, it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way. I want to share a personal story of mine about overcoming depression. This is a journey that took me to the darkest corners of my mind, but also led me back to the light. There was a time when I felt like I was in a deep, dark tunnel, with no end in sight. The world outside was just a blur, and I felt disconnected from everything and everyone. I was adrift in a sea of despair, and it seemed like no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't find my way back to shore. Depression is like a heavy, invisible cloak that weighs you down. It saps your energy, your motivation, and your joy. It makes you feel isolated and alone, even when you're surrounded by people. It's a constant, nagging feeling of sadness and hopelessness that just won't go away. I remember waking up each morning feeling like I was stuck in a never-ending loop of negativity and sadness. I would go through the motions of the day, but inside, I was numb. It was like I was watching my life from the sidelines, unable to participate or find any joy in it. And then I reached out. I sought help. I realized that I couldn't do this alone. I shared my feelings with a trusted friend who encouraged me to seek professional help. I started seeing a therapist who helped me understand my feelings, my thoughts, and my behaviors. I learned that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to lean on others when you're feeling weak. I learned that there's no shame in admitting that you're struggling and that it's brave to seek help. I found a support system in my friends and family. They were there for me, even when I pushed them away. They listened, they comforted, they encouraged. Their unwavering support was a beacon of light in my dark times. I also started taking care of my physical health. I started eating healthier, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. I realized that my physical health was closely linked to my mental health, and that taking care of one also meant taking care of the other. Slowly but surely, I started to see changes. I started to feel better. I started to enjoy life again. It was a long and difficult journey, but it was worth it. Looking back, I realized that depression was not a sign of weakness, but a sign of being strong for too long. It was a wake-up call, a signal that I needed to take better care of myself, and that was my journey. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. It was a journey of self-discovery, of healing, and of hope. It was a journey that taught me the importance of mental health, of self-care, and of seeking help. It was a journey that I wouldn't wish on anyone, but it was a journey that has made me stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. It was a journey that has shaped me into the person I am today. Scene script. Depression is a serious condition, and it's crucial to seek help. Now, when we say seek help, we're not just talking about a one-time event. Seeking help is a continuous, brave act of reaching out, of opening up to the possibilities of healing and growth. It's about acknowledging that depression is a complex condition that often requires a multifaceted approach to manage. So, where does one begin? Well, professional help is an excellent starting point. Psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, they're all trained to understand the intricacies of the human mind and can guide you through your journey. They can provide invaluable insights, teach you coping strategies, and even prescribe medication if required. Speaking of medication, it's important to note that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Different people respond to different treatments, and it may take some time to find the right one for you. That's okay. Patience is a key part of this process. But professional help is just one aspect. You see, the people around you, your friends, your family, they play an equally important role. They're your pillars of support, your cheerleaders, your safe spaces. They may not fully understand what you're going through, and that's all right. Their role isn't to fix you, but to stand by you, to listen, to offer a compassionate ear when you need it. And then there are lifestyle changes. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, adequate sleep, these often overlooked aspects of life can significantly impact your mental health. They're not replacements for professional help, but they can certainly complement it. In essence, seeking help is about exploring all these avenues. It's about embracing the reality that overcoming depression isn't a solitary battle. It's a journey that you embark on with others, a journey towards understanding, healing, and ultimately recovery. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a step towards recovery. You're not alone in this. Let me tell you why a support system is so important. Imagine you're on a long journey, trekking through harsh terrains, braving the wild and unkempt landscapes. Now imagine doing it all alone. Daunting, isn't it? That's how it can feel when you're dealing with mental health challenges like depression. But the good news is, you don't have to face it alone. That's where a support system comes in. A support system is like a team of cheerleaders, coaches, and fellow athletes all rolled into one. This team can include friends, family, support groups, and even professionals like therapists or counselors. They're there to provide comfort, encouragement, and a sense of belonging when you need it the most. Friends and family can be your personal cheerleaders. They're the ones who can make you laugh, provide a shoulder to lean on, and remind you of your worth. They're the ones who can brighten your day with a simple phone call or text message. They're there to remind you that you're loved and cherished. Support groups, on the other hand, are like being part of a team. You're surrounded by people who are going through the same challenges. They understand your struggles and triumphs because they've been there too. It's a safe space where you can share your experiences, learning from others and offering your own insights. It's a place of mutual understanding and shared empathy. Professionals like therapists and counselors are your coaches. They're trained to guide you, providing strategies and tools to navigate through the tough times. They're there to help you understand your feelings, identify triggers, and develop coping mechanisms. Each part of this support system plays a crucial role. Together, they provide comfort, motivation, and a sense of belonging. They remind you that you're not alone, that others care about you and understand what you're going through. Remember, we are social creatures. We need others to thrive. Having a strong support system doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to understand the power of unity, the strength in numbers, and the healing that comes from shared experiences. So reach out, connect, and let your support system help you on your journey. Remember, we are social creatures. We need others to thrive. Self-care is not selfish. It's necessary for your recovery. It's a phrase that's been echoed time and time again, but it rings with a special kind of truth when it comes to managing depression. Self-care practices and coping mechanisms are not just about pampering yourself or indulging in lazy days. They're about actively taking steps to ensure your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And there are numerous ways to do that. One of the most effective ways is through regular exercise. Now, this doesn't mean you have to run a marathon or bench press twice your body weight. It's about finding a physical activity you enjoy and can maintain. It could be anything from a brisk walk in the park, a dance class, or even a few stretches in your living room. The goal is to get your body moving, your heart pumping, and your mind distracted. Exercise releases endorphins, your body's natural mood lifters, which can help to dispel the dark clouds of depression. Next up, we have a balanced diet. It's easy to reach for comfort foods when you're feeling down, but these are often high in sugar and unhealthy fats, which can actually worsen your mood in the long run. Instead, aim for a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. These foods provide essential nutrients that can boost your mood and energy levels. And remember, hydration is key. A well-hydrated body functions better, and that includes your brain. Now let's talk about sleep. Adequate sleep is crucial for everyone, but especially so for those battling depression. Poor sleep can exacerbate feelings of sadness, lethargy, and hopelessness. Try to establish a sleep routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Make your sleep environment as comfortable as possible. And if you're having trouble falling asleep, there are numerous resources available, from guided sleep meditations to sleep-inducing soundtracks. Mindfulness is another powerful tool in your self-care toolkit. It's about being present, focusing on the here and now, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. You can practice mindfulness through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or even simply taking a moment to appreciate the beauty around you. And finally, hobbies. Whether it's painting, playing an instrument, gardening, or writing, engaging in activities you enjoy can provide a much-needed distraction from depressive thoughts. It gives you something positive to focus on and can instill a sense of accomplishment and purpose. Remember, everyone's self-care routine will look different, and that's okay. What matters is finding what works best for you. Each small step you take towards self-care is a victory, a testament to your strength and resilience. Remember, taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So go ahead and embrace self-care. It's not just about surviving, but thriving, despite the challenges of depression. Your journey towards recovery starts with you. Depression is a long and winding road, but remember, you're not walking it alone. As we conclude this journey, let's take a moment to revisit the milestones we've covered. We began with the understanding that compassion, not just for others but for ourselves, is the cornerstone of healing. The road to recovery begins with acknowledging our feelings, and that's okay. It's okay to not be okay. We then delved into personal journeys, reflecting on how each path is unique, yet intertwined with threads of universal experiences. We learned that it's okay to stumble, to fall. What matters is the strength to rise again, to continue on the path, one step at a time. We emphasized the importance of seeking help. It's a sign of courage, not weakness, to reach out to others. There are professionals, friends, and family who are ready and willing to lend a hand, to listen, to provide the guidance you might need. We also talked about the power of a support system. Remember, you're not alone. There are others who have walked this path, and they are here to help you navigate it. They can provide the light in the darkest times, the hand to hold when the road gets rocky. And finally, we discussed self-care and coping mechanisms. These are your tools, your armor against the darkness. Find what works for you, what brings you peace, comfort, and strength. It might be a hobby, a routine, a mantra, or a loved one. Remember, recovery is possible. It may seem like an uphill battle, but you have the strength to overcome. You are stronger than you think, more resilient than you believe. There is a light at the end of this tunnel, and it's not an oncoming train. It's the dawn of a new day, a new start, a new you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Remember, you are not alone, and together, we can overcome.